Well, it started in the first lockdown when I was feeling fairly inadequate by not doing anything, and people on the front line and doing some serious work, whereas I was sat on my backside not being able to do too much. So I offered up initially to just jump in on people's pub quizzes and work quizzes, home quizzes, whatever they were, and then that swiftly developed into I was getting invited to stag do's, birthday parties, wedding invitation. I mean, all sorts. So I was just dropping into. I mean, I did hundreds of different Zoom calls, team calls, Skype calls. Just sort of popping in and saying hi. Not necessarily hosting all the quizzes, but some of it was hosting, some of it was awards dinners, some of it was just saying hi. I would. People would email me, and I would just jump in, sort of unannounced, and give them a bit of a fright. Well, I mean, I wanted to sort of do my bit. To everyone was chipping in, weren't they? I mean, everyone was sort of. We were in uncharted waters back in March, April, May, and because we were in total lockdown, I just felt. I felt that there wasn't an awful lot that I could do to reach people. So it was a way of me interacting with people that I might ordinarily just I'd see at work, for the businesses that I work for, or even just wandering down the street. You're just not seeing anybody. So it was good for my mental state of mind to be communicating with people, but also I think people quite enjoyed the fact that they could be having their family quiz, and all of a sudden Matt Dawson pops up and asks them a few questions around sport, or I might jump in their team and help them in their pub quiz. I think, I mean, the list is very long, isn't it, and very complex. Depends on who you are, how you deal with your own issues. I think maybe a generic tip that I tend to throw out there, I work with a company called Sodexo, a big food and facilities firm. We do a lot of work around health and well-being, and so I do get asked that question a lot, and my sort of stock generic answer is that first and foremost, you have to have acceptance as to where you are. I think if you're battling your current situation and you're battling against things that you have no control over, that can escalate pretty quickly. And so early on, I got at peace. I sort of had peace with lockdown, with divorce, with living with your two kids, with not being able to play golf, with not being able to exercise, with not being able to see my friend, all those things that we're all going through, and we've all got our issues, losing jobs, gaining jobs, furlough, all those types of really tough parts that we've been through in 2020. I think the idea of acceptance and sort of drawing a line underneath it to say, right, this is where I am. I can't change this. I can't change this part of it. How can I affect the other part and not let the negativity get in? Because if it's tapping on the window and threatening to get in your mind, then that's when you tend to sort of spiral a bit. So I will always work on my acceptance. To communicate is an easy thing to say and not necessarily an easy thing to do. And not only have you got to have the desire and the bravery to talk, you've got to be doing it to the right person, because that can be detrimental if you are doing it to the wrong person. So understanding the people around you and having people that you can trust, maybe testing people out a little bit with what you say and see what their reaction is like, how that makes you feel. And if it doesn't make you feel great, I wouldn't particularly carry on opening up to that person. Whereas pretty quickly, if they give you a response where it's not just agreement, but it either calms you or it makes you think, it's provocative, they're the signs to me. And by the way, I'm sort of opening up and talking to people that I've met on a Zoom call for half an hour, but during that conversation, it might make me feel that I want to talk to them about another topic. It might make me feel like if it's a work call and I'm getting on really well with them, I might go down a slightly different line of work, or I might start, if they ask me what I'm up to or how I'm doing, I might give them a slightly deeper answer than, yeah, fine, yeah, everything's good, yeah, no problem. So it's analysing how you feel when you talk to people, it's very easy to say, but rarely, if ever, have I opened up with someone and been really disappointed with their reaction. You might feel you didn't get too much back, but very rarely have I got, oh my God, I'm never doing that again. Where the step is to actually start the conversation and start with, why don't I say something other than, yeah, everything's fine or everything's okay or getting by? Why don't I start with a sentence and see where that takes me?